Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southeast.
High fly ball, belted deep left. Soto back. Charlie walks him off again. What an incredible homestand for Charlie Culberson. 2 pinch hit walk-off homers. Are you kidding me?
It's tough to beat a walk-off win at home unless you do it on the road. Maybe the Braves have another thrilling finish in store for us as we start a western swing against the San Diego Padres here at beautiful Petco Park. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark where the Braves head west to take on a San Diego ball club that last year won just 71 games. And to quote the late, great Yogi Berra for the Padres, Joe, it's deja vu all over again here in 2018.
It seems to be deja vu here all the time because they just keep trying to rebuild, and never seem to really be able to crawl out of the cellar in the National League West. They are in the last place in the West, 5.5 games back. That's the good thing because nobody's run off and left them, but they've played better lately. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. They don't hit a lot of home runs, and the ones that do hit are hit by young guys, a lot of rookies. Christian Villanueva, who is not in the lineup tonight, has 15 of them. And Eric Hosmer, the big, expensive free agent signing, well, he's tied for the league lead in doubles, but otherwise he's not been a difference maker for this ball club, and they certainly need more of them.
For whatever reason, the Braves have not played particularly well here in San Diego. Atlanta's lost 13 of their last 16 games here. Who better to snap that streak than Julio Teheran is on a very nice run against the Padres?
Yeah, he is. He's won his last 3 starts against them, and that dates back for a couple of years. But like you said, back when it was ugly, he got blistered here one day. I'm not even sure he got out of the first inning, so it's been a house of horrors for the Braves. One thing that has not been scary has been the way this turn through the rotation has been, and look at Julio's numbers in that start. He only gave up 2 earned runs, but he got beat because he got shut out. So hopefully tonight the Braves offense will give him a few runs early, and he can cruise in.
Clayton Richards got the ball for the Padres, a crafty left-hander here in Game 1. Late inning magic has been the story for the Braves so far in 2018. Kelsey Winger will talk about all the walk-off excitement for Atlanta as we get you set for Game 1 here in San Diego next.
Win for Atlanta, another walk-off win. Now, since Brian Snitker took over as manager, the Braves lead Major League Baseball with 46 last-at-bat wins. This season, they're tied for the NL lead with 9. So, you guys, this team is 35-24. They're in first place in the NL East, and man, are they exciting to watch. But what makes them so successful in those late innings? Well, at last night's here, I'll tell you.
I think it's great, and knowing that anybody can do it any given time makes it even better. I think I've said it before, if you rely on just a few guys to carry you the whole time, that's too much pressure on them. If you can kind of distribute that along or throughout the whole team, that just kind of takes pressure off other guys, and we can pick other guys up. And it's fun to watch, and it's fun to prove people wrong too. We have all these doubts and questions, and just to kind of silence everybody is kind of fun, but obviously focusing one day at a time is the biggest key.
Fun to prove people wrong. They're coming off of a great homestand where Charlie Culberson had 2 pinch hit walk-off home runs tonight. He will get the start in left field and bat 7th for the Braves as he hopes to keep that magic going here in San Diego. But we are just minutes away from first pitch between the Braves and the Padres in Game 1 of this 3-game set here in San Diego. Julio Teheran takes the mound for Atlanta, and Chip and Joe take you to first pitch and starting lineups next.
They are enduring what they call the June gloom here in San Diego. Mostly overcast skies all day today, but hopefully they'll be bright and sunny for the Braves who start this Western swing here at Petco Park with a 1.5-game lead in the National League East. A different look for Brian Snitker's lineup for the series opener. Ozzie Albies moves back to the leadoff spot. Johan Camargo will hit second at third base. Ender Inciarte, Joe, with a left-hander on the mound, drops to the 6th spot. And Clayton Richard, who has had absolutely no luck against Atlanta, draws the opening series game assignment.
If anybody's got a chip on their shoulder about tonight's game, it is Clayton Richard. He is 34 years old, 6'5", 235, out of Lafayette, Indiana, and the University of Michigan. But he's never beaten the Braves in 9 games and a very high ERA. He is a sinker slider guy. He's a ground ball guy. He's got to get outs that way. If there's a lot of fly balls, that's not a good sign for him. And he's 3-6 with a 4.74 ERA on the year.
So Ozzie Albies will lead off for the Braves, batting .263 on the season. And Richard's first is banged foul toward Ron Washington. We are underway.
I like what Brian's done with the lineup tonight, moving Ozzie back into the leadoff spot. But the way Ender has been struggling against left-handed pitching, I think that was a very wise move tonight.
a fly ball to center. Jankowski drifts back to the warning track and he hauls it in. So Richard gives up a deep fly ball out to Albies to start the game. And the leadoff man retired for Atlanta. That is only the 47th flyout Richard has recorded in 74 1/3 innings this year.
He's number 2 in Major League Baseball in ground ball to fly ball out ratio, 2.67.
Modified windup for Richard, who faces Camargo now, and Johan takes a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Mark Ripperger has the plate. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, at first. Nick Lentz at second. Mark Carlson, the umpire, at third.
He's got a curveball. He's got a slider. Batting average off his slider is less than 200. That's a good sign for him.
Ground ball to short. Freddie Galvis, our old friend from the Phillies, makes the play, and Camargo's out number 2. So that is more Clayton Richard-like. 2 up, 2 down, and Freddie Freeman stands in, the hottest hitter in the league, with a 16-game hitting run working.
Listen to Braves fans.
A lot of them are here in San Diego tonight. So all eyes on Freddie Freeman. No shift for him as Richard goes to work. And that's bounced foul, strike 1. During these 16 games with a hit, Freddie has a total of 24 of them and is batting .375 during this stretch. And that sinks low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that almost hit him. Lefties don't bother Freddie Freeman. They don't bother the man on deck, Nick Markakis. Freddie hitting lefties at a .385 clip. And now he's down to his last strike, 2-2.
Likewise for Clayton Richard. Left-handers a .217 average, .213 average, I should say, .268 for righties. But all the home runs that he's given up, 9 of them have come to right-handed batters.
And a slow roller hit toward Perella at second. He'll throw off stride, and it's a 1-2-3 for Clayton Richard. Julio Teheran answers the bell for the Braves. No score after half inning. His 5th victory of the season. As we mentioned in our opening comments, Julio's got a good run going against the Padres.
Absolutely he has. He's 4-2 in his career against them, but his last 4 he's 3-0 with a .233 ERA and a very low opponent average against him. He'll be looking for his 5th win tonight. He'll need some Ford keys for that. A couple of them might be aggressive early, especially early in the count, force the action and use that changeup against this ball club that's filled with some young players that might not be doing too well against off-speed pitches.
The Padres, though, if they get on you early, they're pretty successful. They're 19-3 this year when they score first.
So let's see if Julio can mow him down here in the bottom half of the inning with Travis Jankowski leading off. And a strike gets Julio's night underway. Jankowski's been up and down between San Diego and El Paso. Hitting .302 overall. And since he's come back, the Padres are a game over 500. This is a team that starts play tonight 7 under for the year. So he's done a nice job leading off for them. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's fouled at the plate. That got a piece of Mark Ripperger on the way by. 1-2.
That was a good changeup. Good sign.
Lifted in the air to right. And in right center, Ender is there, and he'll make the play in front of Nick Markakis. They'll talk about the invisible line of death out there. Ender puts it away, and there's the first out. Andy Green's lineup features Eric Hosmer, the big ticket free agent signed to an 8-year, $140 million contract this offseason. And as Joe mentioned, Hosmer's been a doubles machine. 6 homers, 25 runs batted in total. And that skips up there. 1 ball, no strikes. Padres are banking that Hosmer will be a cornerstone piece in their rebuild. He can play first base. That moves Will Myers to the outfield. Myers, though, is out with an oblique problem. Joe mentioned Christian Villanueva banged up too. So a lot of their powerful hitters aren't playing tonight. Beautiful pitch.
Another good location and pitch. Looked like took a little off. Good sinker.
Base is empty for Hosmer. The 2-1 is launched into right center field and deep, and that is long gone. It's a home run for Hosmer. It's 1-0 San Diego. Nick Markakis took about 2 steps in right field and turned and admired it. The 7th home run for Hosmer, the 12th given up by Tehran. And San Diego strikes first in the first.
Julio didn't spend any time watching it either. He just put his glove up toward Mark Ripperger and said, "Give me another ball."
So 1-0 San Diego. Here's Jose Perella playing second base for San Diego, and time was called. No pitch. We told you the Padres have won 5 of their last 6 games. Much of that work came against Cincinnati and Miami. They're facing the first place Braves tonight and have an early lead. Little pop right side. Freeman in foul ground. There's a lot of that here at Petco near the dugouts, and there's the second out.
Third best in the majors when they score first.
We'll see if that mark holds up tonight. Here's Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe had a pinch hit grand slam yesterday. And since coming off the disabled list with a right elbow problem, he has come back with a vengeance. 7 homers and 14 RBIs. And that caught a corner. It's an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves play Hunter Renfroe as a dead pull hitter on the infield. Look at where Dansby's playing at shortstop.
This is a young lineup and is a team that strikes out a lot. Showed you those numbers at the beginning, and in Braves Live they're next to last in just about every offensive category in the National League.
Hitting .231 as a team. They've been outscored by 40 runs. Scoring less than 4 runs a game on average, striking out over 9 times a game. But they lead 1-0 on the Hosmer 1-out homer. Now the 2-2 pitch is in the dirt.
Runs per game, the all-important one, 3.9, next to last.
So Julio with a full count pitch, and it's hit right to the shortstop. And Dansby with a backhand can't corral it. And Renfroe's aboard with 2 outs.
Another pitch up. Change-up hit for the homer was up.
So Swanson commits the error at short, 2 outs. And Franmil Reyes is up. Reyes hitting .235. Renfroe at first. The pitch is fouled straight back. That's what a foul ball off a screen sounds like at a big league park. Did you hear that? That was well struck. So a few extra pitches coming up for Julio here in the opening inning. And that one off the plate.
One of the things that I always look at for Julio first inning is fastball velocity. He hasn't thrown a fastball over 90 yet. I don't think he's hit 90. That's not a good sign.
.88. 2 balls and a strike. Reyes had a multi-hit game yesterday for the Padres. He's 7 for his last 21 at the plate. And that's over the screen and out of play. 2-2.
I don't know if there's much doubt about what Reyes is trying to do.
Nope. 20 strikeouts, 3 walks for Reyes so far this year. A non-drafted free agent signed by the Padres after the 2011 season. The pitch is cut on and missed, and that's the inning. 1 run, 1 hit. The Hosmer homer puts the Padres ahead. We head to the second inning.
Major League Baseball draft, and the Braves had a pick in each of the 2 first rounds. Braves Director of Scouting Brian Bridges and his crew have been working endlessly for this night, and their first-round pick was Carter Stewart. He's a right-handed pitcher out of high school, and I asked Bridges what made this guy so special, and he said that he has some of the best spin rate on a curveball out of any guy in this entire draft. He's also a big guy. He said he's 6'6" and has put on 30 pounds since last spring. He has a double-plus fastball and a double-plus breaking ball, and if Jeff Francoeur were in the booth, he would want to know that Bridges also added he is a scratched golfer, guys.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
I asked, is there anything else you want me to know about this kid? And he said he's a scratched golfer. I was like, I don't know what that is, but Jeff Francoeur does, and I'm going to ask him in the media dining room.
All right. Well, Carter and I have something in common. I've put on 30 pounds since last spring, too.
And you're close to 6'6".
Yeah,
So.
he's my new favorite player. So welcome to the Braves family, Carter. Look forward to meeting you when we get back to Atlanta. And congrats to all the draftees today. What a special day for all those chosen in the Major League Draft. Casey Mize from Auburn went first to the Tigers. Joey Bart from Georgia Tech, the catcher, went second to the Giants. Ground ball to third. Nice pick. Long throw. And Markakis retired. That's 3 straight ground outs by Clayton Richard. Corey Spangenberg with the play at the hot corner. 1 out.
Yeah, Stewart's got a fastball that range higher is 98 miles an hour. I saw some video of his good curveball. O'Galley, is that how you say it?
Yep.
O'Galley, Florida, where Prince Fielder went to school.
Tyler Flowers, the Braves catcher tonight. Bats with the bases empty. Tyler hitting .270. He's hit 3 homers. And that's in for a strike. Long way to go tonight, but an important road trip for the Braves. We've got the Padres playing here at Petco, where Atlanta's had very little luck of late. Then it's on to LA to face the Dodgers, who are starting to heat up. Braves start action tonight, a game and a half up in the division, but trailing by a run thanks to the Hosmer first inning homer. That got him. Flowers hit by a pitch. And the Braves' magnetic tandem of Suzuki and Flowers continue to get hit by pitched balls. And that's the first Atlanta base runner.
Well, Clayton Richard has got to pitch inside. Obviously he doesn't want to come in that far, but he's got to keep right-handed hitters in particular honest with his sinker.
Tyler hit for the second time this year. That brings up Ender. As we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, different look to the lineup batting order. Ender hitting 6th. And as you suggested, Joe, part of that is a left-hander's on the mound, and surprisingly this year, Ender has had his troubles against southpaw pitching.
Yeah, just a 200 average.
So Richard ready, brings it, and had him out in front.
Part of the issue for Ender is what you just saw. We talked about Bryce Harper struggling in that 4-game series in Atlanta because the front side was flying open. Same thing here.
Bounced back to the mound. Richards got it. Second base one, way too late to first. Ender aboard with 2 outs. Flowers forced out. And 2 are down.
Got a little crowded around the bag at second base. But eventually it was Freddie Galvis taking that throw, and we know how good he is around the bag, but not quick enough to get Ender.
Everything on the ground off the Braves bats with the exception of Albies line out to start the game. Here's Charlie. Another heroic at bat at home. Another walk-off home run against the Washington Nationals this time, as the Braves took 3 out of 4 from their division rivals and gained 2 games on Washington in the standings as a result. Pretty remarkable. Charlie has 8 career homers. 4 of them are game enders.
And I think his last 3 in a row. Maybe 4 in a row have been walk-offs.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Ender's last stolen base was May 15th at home against the Cubs. Stuck on 18.
And Richard has that almost balk move on his throw to first.
It's a good one. He led the league in pickoffs last year.
Bounce toward short. Galvis has it. The flip to second is in time. 3 more groundouts for Atlanta in a scoreless second. History brought to you by Geico. On this day in 1940, the Braves signed Warren Spahn, the all-time winningest southpaw in history. Spahn had a remarkable 13 years of 20 or more wins and finished his Hall of Fame career with 363 victories, which is good for 6th on the all-time list.
Talk about dependable. And you look at his numbers, there was a tremendous number of wins after he turned 40. And a predominant number after he turned 30.
One of those 20-win seasons. He went 23-7 at the age of 42. Won the '57 Cy Young Award. Was the runner-up 3 times. As Freddie Galvis leads off for the Padres, who enjoy a 1-0 lead.
Scouting report we got on Mr. Galvis is his average is down, but he's hitting a lot of tough luck. We hope that bad luck continues. 5 for 26 on this homestand.
I don't know about you, but when the Phillies decided to send him away, I almost did a backflip because he single-handedly destroyed the Braves while with the Phillies with his glove and at times his bat as well.
Well, he's providing them with a stellar defense at short in San Diego. They're raving about it.
He led all of Major League Baseball shortstops in fielding percentage last year, made just 7 errors in 2017. And the 2-2 pitch is outside. It's a full count. Pitch number 26 for Julio is on the way, and it's hit high in the air to center. Pretty deep, but not deep enough. Ender will have plenty of room shy of the track. And Galvis retired for out number 1.
Last inning, Julio's fastest pitch was 88.5 miles an hour.
And as he received that baseball, he was taking a look at his pitching hand. second finger. Keep an eye on that. Here's Corey Spangenberg, the Padres infielder, hitting 175. There's a good breaking ball at 69 miles an hour. That was Anibal Sanchez-like.
Yeah, it was.
Whom you saw standing next to George Poulos, the Braves head athletic trainer. That's rifled deep to right field. That one's not going to come back. Last two at bats for Spangenberg have resulted in home runs. San Diego's hit 2 solo shots. It's 2-0 in the second.
Well, the Braves may be the tonic for him. He had a career batting average against Atlanta of .353 coming in. Adds to it here. Another pitch up.
That's where Tyler was calling for it, but it wasn't up enough. It was up and away for the 5th homer for Spangenberg. And now the Braves are down 2 with Rafi Lopez, the San Diego catcher, the oldest rookie in the big leagues. He's 30. And Joe, right now, you're right about Julio's velocity. The home run that Spangenberg hit came in on 87-mile-an-hour pitch.
Got a good breaking ball. Hosmer hit a changeup out of the ballpark, but the fastball velocity not there yet.
And it's 2-0. Here's the pitch. 2-2 to Lopez, who's seen time with the Cubs, the Reds, Toronto, and now San Diego. Braves have a very nice run going with their starting pitching. 7 innings or more, 4 of the last 5 outings. And a shot the other way beats the shift. Lopez aboard on a single on a 3-2 count. And Clayton Richard will get a chance to hit. San Diego 2 runs on 3 hits now.
Another 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Nice adjustment going the other way. Richard's a good hitter. Got 3 hits, a homer, and a double included.
So he can help himself. And he lays down the bunt. And it is perfect. Richard lays down the sacrifice. Now Jankowski hits with 1 in, 1 on, and 2 out in the inning. For whatever reason, Jankowski has had very little luck against the Atlanta Braves. A lifetime 150 average against Atlanta pitching. Let's hope that continues here with 2 outs. And that's taken low, ball 1. Right now, Julio does not have much. 2 balls, no strikes. And he's about to make his 40th pitch.
It's almost like he's trying to generate movement on his fastball. He's dropping his arm slot down a little bit.
And he has really had arm side command issues the last 2 or 3 starts. 4 of those pitches to Jankowski missed in the right hand batter's box. And Toronto issues his first walk. And now Hosmer greets him. He hit the first inning home run. Braves play Hosmer as a pull hitter, but he has more opposite field hits than anybody in baseball. We'll see how Julio works him here. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0. San Diego the lead.
Catcher speed at second base. Outfielders might have a shot on a solid single. Come up throwing.
One ball, no strikes.
Missing same side again. Some of that's got to be Chip, his lack of confidence in his fastball right now. Tyler's going to go talk to him, but you know, if you're not breaking 90 miles an hour and you're not sure, they're going to go look at him.
Yeah, he was looking at his right hand earlier, but he has not been able to generate much velocity at all in his first inning and 2/3 here. So Chuck Hernandez and George Poulos make their way back to the Braves dugout. Brian Snitker's satisfied with Julio's health at the moment. Quick pep talk from Flowers, and now he'll squat back behind the plate with a 2-0 count to Eric Hosmer. Got the corner there. 2 balls and a strike.
He must be concerned too, because he just took a look out at the radar gun posting after that pitch, see what it was, and it was 87.
Pickoff play at second. Braves have some guys walking around in their bullpen, but nobody throwing yet. Teran's due up second in the Atlanta third. Long rest for Clayton Richard here. Hosmer, the 6th man to hit in the inning. The pitch. Three balls, 1 strike. And the bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks. And here's Pirella, the San Diego second baseman. He popped out in foul ground his first trip. Pirella's a guy that wants to swing the bat. He struck out 50 times this year. Not close enough to get a swing. Ball one.
If he can get an out here, he's due up second. It wouldn't surprise me to see them pinch hit for him once they get him back to the dugout and check him out. But he is just guiding the ball right now.
I mean, that was a maximum effort pitch from Julio, and it was 88 miles an hour. That is not like him.
Yeah, the one to Hosmer up and in 89. That was his best pitch so far. Best velocity.
So now Pirella can shrink his strike zone. It's 2-0. And he popped him up. Into that gray sky. It's Ender Inciarte in center. He's got it. And Julio fortunate to get out of the second, allowing just the Spangenberg homer. 2-0 San Diego. We'll see if Julio continues.
The Georgia Lottery.
That's the historic heart of San Diego, as the sign tells you, the Gaslamp District. Just a block or two away from Petco Park. Braves trail 2-0 after 2 innings. Julio Teheran is due up second for Atlanta. He'll follow Dansby Swanson, we presume, as Clayton Richard now staked to 2 solo homers and is trying to beat the Braves for the first time in his career tonight. And Julio is in the on-deck circle. Since coming back from the wrist injury, Dansby Swanson has 11 hits. 7 of them have been for extra bases, including that hustle double in the 9th inning that was overturned on review. He was called out at second base against the Nationals, but New York got that one right, and he scored the 3rd run ahead of Charlie Culberson's walk-off homer.
This is what Clayton Richard does to you. He threw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Then he comes back 90, but it's lower and it's sinking, trying to get you to offer. He gets a lot of first pitch strikes. He's one of the leaders in the league in first pitch strikes. And then he just throws you one maybe a little slower, that's got a little more movement, and get that ground ball. And so far so good in that category.
Just 25 pitches for him, 22 after 2. And Dansby chased that one in the dirt. And he will be thrown out at first base. Swanson strikes out for the 54th time this year, and that's the first for Richard in the game. 1 out. I know we talk all the time. You want to make a sinker baller get the ball up. How does a hitter accomplish that against a guy like Clayton Richard?
Well, you go to your sand wedge. And you kind of have to have that mentality. You got to think that way, that anything that starts at the knees is not something you want to go after. You've got to just be patient and hope that he elevates some pitches. He's trying real hard not to comply with that.
Another ground ball. This one to Perella at second. Easy play. 2 outs. Six ground outs, 1 strikeout for Richard. And we go back to the top of the order. Ozzie Albies the only man to get the ball in the air. He had a deep fly ball to center. The Jankowski tracked down shy of the track. Ozzie's in a bit of a slide. He's 0 for his last 15. Fouled straight back. It's an even count. Here's a good take. And 2-1 for Ozzie. Don't know what it is about this place, but counting the 2 runs the Padres have scored tonight, in the last 17 games Atlanta has played here, they've been outscored by 45 runs.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah. In fact, Atlanta's not hit a home run in San Diego in the last 16 games. Hopefully that'll change tonight. Ball is traveling. Padres hit 2 solo homers, one by Hosmer, one by Spangenberg.
What was the temperature at game time yesterday?
Oh, I didn't write it down.
88.
Yeah.
63 at game time tonight.
So a full count. Richard hasn't had many of those in his last couple of starts. Payoff pitch is down low, and there's a rally for Atlanta. Second base runner. Albies walks in front of Camargo. And here's Johan, who rolled out to shortstop his first time up.
As long as his right foot does not cross over the plane of the pitching rubber, he can lift that leg up as high as he wants. And as long as he has continuous motion, he's not going to fall. Not going to be called for one theoretically.
One ball, one strike. Jerry Davis has seen it all. He's the crew chief. And he's got an excellent look at Richard. Look at where he sets up for that play at first base. That's in the dirt. Well, and on the appeal at first, he went around. So that's called a strike. I don't think I've ever seen an umpire be in position between the first base coach and the first base coaching box on a pickoff play at first.
Me neither.
But that's to get a good look at that leg angle, I'm sure, for Clayton Richard. Usually the umpire's further up the first base line. The pitch. Strike 3 called inside corner. Camargo couldn't pull the trigger. Albies left stranded after a 2-out walk. Atlanta still without a hit and trailing 2-0. Turnaround in the middle innings.
It must be a lot warmer in that row.
Yeah. So Julio's going to stay in and pitch the third for Atlanta. Renfroe, Reyes, and Galvis coming up. 2 solo homers, the offense for the Padres so far tonight. They just left the bases loaded in the second. Julio about to make his 50th pitch. And he spins a breaking ball up there for a called strike. Not much action in the big leagues tonight. We'll keep an eye on the Diamondbacks and Giants. That's an important game in the National League West. Giants are only 2.5 games behind Arizona. Zach Godley and Derek Holland the undercard for the main event tomorrow night. Patrick Corbin and Madison Bumgarner, who will pitch for the Giants in his season debut. Renfroe fouled that at the plate. Hunter, a former first-round pick, so I'm sure this day brings back happy memories for him. Out of Crystal Springs, Mississippi. He had his first career opening day roster last year.
He and Spangenberg, both former first-round picks for the Pods.
And he drills this one to right, pretty deep. Marquez back. He's going to have room though on the track. And Renfroe's retired for out number 1. This is a big ballpark, one of the biggest ballparks in the major leagues, and this time of night with that marine heavy moist air, usually tough to hit home runs here. And over the years this park has undergone a lot of renovations or revisions to help spark some offense. It's a beauty. As Reyes bats, he struck out to end the opening inning.
Not to mention all the enormous construction projects that went on around here out beyond center field that affected wind flow and ball jumping. It may be not as big a pitcher's park as it used to be.
In right center field, you'd have to hit the ball in the old days when the park opened in 2004, 411 feet. That's come in 20 feet. That is quite a difference. And that's a strike. 1-2 the count. Franmil Reyes taps one to the right side. Freddie's got that. And he leads Julio perfectly to the bag. 2 outs. Now Tehran's starting to get the ball on the ground a little bit. Not a bad idea. And here's Galvis, who flied out to center. One of the other cool architectural features of this park is the Western Metal Supply building. That was originally slated for demolition when they were building Petco Park. But they found a way to save the building and incorporate it down the left field line, 336 feet from home plate.
It's a great part of this place.
A strike to Galvis. And that spins off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Three, 4, 5 coming up for the Braves in the 4th inning. Clayton Richard has not allowed a Braves hit yet. And Galvis sprays it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Julio ready with his 2-2 pitch. It's bounced to the right side. Freeman's got it. Hard flip to first. Galvis beats it with a slide. So a topspin roller earns Galvis an infield hit with 2 outs. Braves might take a look at this just to be sure.
I'm not sure Julio ever got the bag. He was trying to kick it, but no argument from him.
So no review. Galvis has his first hit, and here's Spangenberg, who hit a homer with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Julio, as you know, has an excellent pickoff move. Mentioned Clayton Richards' good work. Julio's picked off 5. Little tapper, and Julio's got it. Nice play. And that's the inning. Freeman, Markakis, and Flowers are coming up for Atlanta. Braves looking for their first hit and their first runs.
last night for the Braves. Another exciting walk-off win courtesy of Charlie Culberson. And sometimes the best part of walk-offs is seeing the teammates' reaction at home plate. And if you're watching last night, I hope you saw Freddie Freeman and Kurt Suzuki. Now, Freddie told me today that him and Kurt are just too old to be jumping around in the middle of all that and getting their toes stepped on. So Freddie always celebrates in the back, and then him and Kurt do their own celebration, which I guess includes hugging and jumping in circles. And for your next entertainment, Chip and Joe will now reenact.
No, I don't think so. But thanks, Kelsey. Let's see if Freddie can celebrate with a base hit. As Clayton Richard goes to work with a 2-run lead. A bouncing ball to first. Easy play for Hosmer. He's got it. And that's out number 1. Another ground out for the Padres left-hander. And Nick Markakis will be the hitter. A lot of Braves fans here in San Diego. Big Braves fan watching back in Alpharetta, Georgia. The czar of Alpharetta, Jim Hazelwood, hoping the Braves can start this Western trip with a win in San Diego, a place that's been very difficult for Atlanta to achieve success. Here's Nick, bounced out to third, 0 for 1 tonight. A 4-game hit streak. And that's in for a called strike. Padre outfield shades Nick the opposite way as Richard turns it loose and pushed him off the plate. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Braves, as you know, have had as the pitch heads home first, great ability to come back in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Problem is they've fallen behind an awful lot in the first 6. Over the last 7 games, Atlanta as a team hitting .220 in the first 6 innings. And so while the comebacks are exciting, and they certainly have been profitable for the Braves, one of the strengths of this San Diego team is their bullpen. And you don't want to play with fire too often, trailing in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Not against these guys and their closer Brad Hand down the left field line. And still 2-2. Nicely done. Souvenir and some popcorn. Can't beat that. The 2-2 pitch won't be made. Markakis steps out. Way high, 3-2. Freddie grounded out to first to start the inning. Markakis a full count. Tyler Flowers waiting on deck. Richard about to make his 48th pitch. And it's banged foul again. Again, Clayton Richard 0-6, a .675 career ERA against the Braves. However, he's pitched 6 innings or more in 5 consecutive outings. And they're booing Eric Young.
Yeah, couldn't get the ball over the net to the fans.
The pitch is lined into left, and there's the first Atlanta hit. 78th hit for Markakis, who continues his good work. And Tyler Flowers is the Atlanta hitter, and he's tonight's landmark always best always feature. Look at what Tyler's done against the Padres.
Well, he likes picking on the Padres, doesn't he? .433 mark in 10 games. He's been hit by a pitch tonight already. Maybe he can find a gap.
So with that base hit, Markakis breaks the hearts of the Padres again. The San Diego team, the only major league team still without a no-hitter. That's almost impossible with as long as they've been around. The pitch. Line drive. That's 2 in a row for Atlanta. Markakis will stop at second. First and second, 1 out, and Ender's coming up. A little better luck the second time through the order for Atlanta. A walk and now 2 singles.
And he left a pitch up. Tyler made him get the ball up, and he was able to drive it to right field.
Well, let's see if Ender can break out of it against the lefty. Richard ready and delivers, and that's inside. Ball one. He's got a little hitch in his motion too, doesn't he?
It's a real short arm motion. It's not fluid. He doesn't cock his wrist or anything. It's almost stiff arm.
Crossfire that time and didn't get the call. It was off the plate. 2-0.
Watch his arm action to get set and then just kind of wings it.
I'm told that Clayton Richard was the backup quarterback to Chad Henne at Michigan in 2004.
Two-sport star there.
The 2-1 is grounded to the right side. One play. It's to first and in time. Markakis to third. Flowers to second. Nice play by Perella to get the sure out. And now the fate of the inning rests in the hands of Charlie Culberson. Second and third, 2 outs now. And another ground out. Charlie hit it sharply, but out to the shortstop. That ended inning number 2 for the Braves. 2-0 San Diego. Atlanta with a hit could tie it up. Ball one. That one got away, but not far enough.
It's the most difficult one to read. Nick could have scored on that, but when the ball bounces away straight in line with the third base line, you can't tell exactly. Your depth perception won't tell you exactly how far it is away from the catcher. You see it and you want to go, but it's hard to determine if that ball is still on the dirt or if it's rolling farther, and by that time it's too late to go. So that was a lucky break.
It was a lucky break. Kept the Braves off the scoreboard for the moment. 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Dansby's done some of his best work with runners on base. If Culberson can reach, Mr. Swanson would be coming up.
Charlie might get a green light here in case he gets one up.
At the knees. Perfect pitch. 3-1. First bit of trouble for Clayton Richard. Second and third, 2 outs, 3 balls and a strike. Bouncy ball toward first and past Hosmer down the line. The Braves are going to tie the game on an opposite field 2-base double by Charlie Culberson. How about that?
Right off the end of the bat, too. Richard got what he wanted. Weak contact, ground ball, but perfectly rolled between the line and Hosmer.
And Richard was just beside himself as that ball crept down the line. Right there. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, he had some bad luck his last time out. 7 innings, 4 hits. He gave up 2 runs and got a no decision against the Marlins.
So Charlie comes through again for the Braves. A 2-run double ties it up, and now Swanson the hitter. And off the end of his bat foul, strike 1. Braves have their first 3 hits. They have their first 2 runs tonight. Smoked foul.
I'm really surprised they're pitching to him. And a base open and the pitcher on deck.
Dansby, a .342 hitter with runners in scoring position. Even better with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. A .417 mark in that situation. But here he's down 2 strikes. The pitch. Way high. That handcuffed Lopez.
Aaron Balsley, the pitching coach, has been here for 15 or 16 years. Even when Buddy Black left, he was able to survive that.
25th pitch of the inning is just inside. 2-2. High fly ball, deep left field. Renfroe back to the wall, has just enough room. In the daytime, that's probably long gone. No such luck for Dansby Swanson. The Braves, though, get a double from Culberson and tie it in the 4th.
Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Well, the Braves finally got to Clayton Richard. A couple of one-out singles by Markakis and Flowers. Charlie Culberson with a double down the right field line ties it at 2 apiece. And Julio has the good fortune of starting the home 4th with the 8, 9, and then number 1 hitters for San Diego.
That's interesting. Yanking off that sleeve, so maybe he's heating up.
Julio's best fastball, I think 89 miles an hour tonight. Let's see if that improves here in the 4th now that he's tied. And that one is too far in for Lopez, the catcher, who singled in the 2nd inning. High fly ball, no doubter.
Man.
They are teeing off. 3 solo homers, and San Diego has the lead right back.
The 30-year-old rookie has his 3rd homer, and that was a no-doubter. That was a home run before the adjustments in the wall out there.
So Clayton Richard back in front. And he has a hearty swing and fouls it straight back. That's lined by the pitcher foul. And it's 0-2. Big news in Detroit today, where the Yankees and Tigers split a doubleheader. First the pitch. It's caught out and missed, and that's apropos. Aaron Judge today struck out 8 times in 9 at-bats in that doubleheader. That's a new major league record.
Wow.
How about the Tigers? Ron Gardenhire might be the manager of the year. By keeping Detroit in that Central Division race in what was supposed to be a massive rebuild this year. Here's Jankowski. He's popped out and walked. And of course, if you missed the Major League Baseball draft, the Tigers had the #1 overall pick, and they took Casey Mize from Auburn. Right-handed pitcher. What a thrill for him. The #1 overall pick. The pitch is tapped back to the mound. Julio got rid of that quickly. 2 outs.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the Athletics take Kyler Murray, the outfielder from Oklahoma, who is also scheduled to be the heir apparent to Baker Mayfield. He's going to be the starting quarterback in football for OU, and it'll be interesting to see if they can sign him. They took him with the 9th pick.
Wow. Here's Hosmer. He's homered and walked. And a swinging bunt. Flowers will pounce and throw him out. So Lopez with a leadoff homer gives San Diego the lead right back. 3 solo shots makes it 3-2 Padres. It's presented by Audi. Clayton Richard back in front. Julio Teheran hits for himself. He bounced out to second in his lone trip to the plate. There was a big powwow on the Braves dugout bench in between innings with Julio Teheran.
Well, it's obvious he wants to stay in the game or he wouldn't be in the box right now. But there's genuine concerns on the part of everybody that they must be talking to him about.
And with the way bullpens are constructed in the major leagues today, you are left with a very short bench. Atlanta has 4 extra players available. One of them, of course, the backup catcher Kurt Suzuki tonight, which also limits the moves that Brian Snitker might be able to make. So with nobody up and throwing in the Braves bullpen that I can tell, Julio's going to try to stay in the game. Later on, if he's fortunate enough to still be in the game, he might act as his own pinch hitter.
They gave up 3 home runs in his second start against Washington. He only went 2 1/3 innings in that one. He gave up, he gave up 5 total homers in the month of May, 3 tonight. That gives him 14 for the year, and that's only 1 shy of the league leader, Homer Bailey, for the Reds.
The appropriately named Homer Bailey.
Yes, sir.
For the Reds, who's now going to be pitching out of the Reds bullpen, apparently.
Well, they were losing balls, and they had to do something.
Yeah. Good battle here with Richard and Teheran. Julio serves it the other way. Perella to his left. And there's the first out. So back to the top we go. Atlanta manufactured 2 runs with the first out recorded in the 4th inning. Let's see if Ozzie can get something going here for the Braves. Oh, for his last 15. He drew a 2-out walk his last time up. And this is not strange territory for Clayton Richard. He's been pretty solid. 6 innings or more in 5 straight starts.
And 5 or more in every start.
Base is empty for Albies, 1 out. And a strike.
And for a team that doesn't hit a lot of home runs, they've hit 3 tonight. But 3 solo shots.
That's Richard's best fastball tonight, 92 miles an hour.
He looks a little trimmer to me. Does he look a little lighter than we're accustomed to seeing him?
Line to first, and Hosmer was right there. He'll check the webbing. Sharply hit ball by Albies, but Hosmer in the right place at the right time. 2 outs. Not a bad approach, just bad luck. And here's Camargo. He was frozen on an inside corner fastball his last time up, and fouls that away. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Padres, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Braves. Charlie Culberson with an RBI double. Dansby Swanson nearly hit a 2-run homer, but the park big enough to hold it in left. And a little chopper left side. Spangenberg's got it. Crow hops and fires, and another ground out for Clayton Richard. He protects a 1-run lead. We're halfway through game 1.
about it earlier, the Western Metal Supply Company building that is here. I am located right below the rooftop up here. Now, this building was built in 1909, and you heard Chip mention this was originally supposed to be demolished, and then they decided to bring it in to the plans of this ballpark, and it's become one of the most iconic elements here. Now, the left foul pole is even on the corner of this building, painted down, and this house is the Padres team store, some party suites on 2 floors, a restaurant on the 4th floor where I'm at, and then the rooftop up there. And Chip and Joe, another fun fact about this, a lot of Major League ballparks, it's common for the batter to face northeast. Well, when they incorporated this building, it made them change the layout of the ballpark where the batter now faces due north.
Very cool.
Well, it's just a cool idea that they had to keep it, make it work for the stadium. Looks great. Added those balconies onto it to make it a real party central for people who want to sit there.
And I think one of those balconies was the scene of perhaps the most improbable play in baseball history. Bartolo Colon's home run
Yeah.
was touched off down the left field line here a couple of years ago. Three balls, no strikes for Julio Teheran facing Perella, Renfroe, and Reyes in the San Diego 5th. That's his 7th 3-ball count and a 4-pitch walk. I know Brian's trying to get 5 innings or more out of Julio, but again, with all due respect, he does not have real good stuff tonight. And with that ball 4, Luis Gohara is going to get up and start to throw. He appears to be the long man tonight.
Julio keeps looking in the Braves dugout, wondering if he's going to be able to stay in the game, and I don't know that they're going to allow him to.
Yeah, this is the second time that George Poulos has come to the mound. Remember earlier, Julio was looking at his fingertips. We haven't seen him look at his hand at all the last couple of innings. But you caught it early, Joe. 87, 88 mile-an-hour fastballs is not normal for Julio Teheran.
No, it just wasn't coming out of his hand right. There was no zip on it.
So will he stay or will he go is the question for Mark Ripperger, the home plate umpire. And now George Poulos is looking at Julio's hand, it appears.
Well, blisters are a funny thing, and all you got to do is go up the road here a little ways and talk to Mr. Hill with the Dodgers. Talk about a guy who spent so much time on the DL because of blisters on his pitching fingers. And they can really become something that is chronic if you don't take care of it. And maybe that's what they're trying to talk some sense into him about. Let's take care of this before it develops into something really bad.
Yep. So that's the end of the night for Julio Teheran. 3 homers, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He trails 3-2. Luis Gohara will be the new Atlanta pitcher, and he'll have as much time as he needs to get ready next. Take on the San Diego Padres again. Be one of the first 10,000 dads through the gates on Sunday, June 17th. And you'll get a pair of Chop-On socks presented by Northside Hospital. Because as you know, friends, nothing says Father's Day better than a great pair of dad socks. Get your tickets for Father's Day today at Braves.com/tickets.
Visit your nearest Advance Auto Parts store to get the quality parts you want from people that know a lot about them.
3-2 San Diego. They have their leadoff man aboard here in the 5th inning. And Joe, I guess the question on everybody's lips tonight, number one, how's Julio? The second question is, what can you expect from Luis Gohara, who just got back from Brazil?
That is the $64,000 question, because he says that he threw a couple of times when he was down there to check on his mom, who had undergone a heart procedure in Brazil, then had all kinds of travel troubles getting back to the States. Got back to Atlanta 2 days later than he was expected to. So how much throwing he's been able to do, I don't know. We'll find out. All find out together. This is his 5th appearance, and 4 of them have been out of the bullpen.
And he enters with a runner at first and nobody out. Hunter Renfroe is the Padres hitter. So Tehran goes 4+ innings, 5 hits, the 3 runs so far. All on homers. Man at first, his responsibility as well. Gohara turns it loose, and that's taken low at 92. 1 ball, no strikes. That's upstairs, ball 2. Luis last appeared in a game May 23rd. That was a 4-inning start against the Phillies up at Citizens Bank Park. And that fouled off the screen. 2-1 the count.
And he pitched well. I think he could have pitched probably. He'd been in a little better starting shape, let's say. He could have gone deeper into the game.
That was the game against Jake Arrieta for the Phillies, correct?
Right.
Who's not too happy these days with the Phillies. Phillies just got swept in San Francisco and have scored 1 run in their last 29 innings. Arrieta was victimized by a couple of defensive shifts. He was very vocal about that, saying the Phillies have to have a top to bottom accountability meeting as to why they're shifting the way they are. The Phillies are negative 11 runs saved in defensive shift situations this year.
Well, I'm sure his manager will have a sesh with him.
3-1 pitch. I think he already did. Let's see if Gohara can come back and get Renfroe here. Phillies 3-7 in their last 10 games, are 3 behind the Braves and idle tonight. They face the Cubs next. 3-2 is line to left. That's trouble. Culberson will try to cut it off before it gets to the wall. He can't. Here comes Perella to third. They'll stop him, and the Padres have runners at second and third with nobody out. Hunter Renfroe has come back from the DL and has become a hitting machine, and San Diego in business in the 5th inning.
He's really strong and wants to hit the ball in the seats, and has done just that against the Braves last year. He had a real good series at SunTrust Park to open that stadium up. He's had a hard time staying healthy too.
Yeah, elbow problems cost him a month this year. So here's Reyes. He has struck out and he's bounced out to Freeman at first. Let's see how the Padres play it here, ahead by a run.
Freddie's the only one in for the Braves. Well off the line.
Franmil Reyes. Their right fielder takes a strike. Little tapper. Flowers will pounce, check the runner at third, and there's out number one.
Well, that helps. Good job by Gohara. Heads up, come in and cover home if he needed to. And Tyler, as he's going to get that baseball, letting Gohara know to get to home plate.
Now Braves killer Freddie Galvis is up. He has an infield hit. And a 4-game hitting streak. Second and third, one out now for Galvis. In the air to right. Markakis is there. Pirello will tag at third. The Braves concede the run on a sacrifice fly. Galvis makes it 4-2. And close the book on Tehran. He's allowed all 4 runs.
Galvis's numbers much better right-handed than left, and both of his home runs from the right-hand side. 18th RBI.
Yeah, veteran play, make contact, get that run home, and he did. So here's Spangenberg, lefty-lefty matchup for Gohara. If he can allow just one here, that would be a job well done. 4-2 San Diego. We're in the 5th. 1 ball, no strikes. Padres scored a run in the first, a run in the second, a run in the fourth, one in the fifth. Both Braves runs came in the 4th inning to tie it up briefly at 2-2. Two balls and a strike. That's fair down the right field line. Spangenberg to second. He's on his way to third. He will stand with a triple.
How in the world did he keep that ball fair? Hooked it a little bit too. And then in this corner, it's a tough one because it's got some funny angles, and Nick had to wait for it to come to him.
And he had to run a country mile just to pick up the baseball rolling down the line. So 2 more across for the Padres in the 5th. It's a 5-2 game. And Lopez a strike. He's 2 for 2. The 8th place hitting catcher as a single and a homer. And right now, Gohara does not have much on that slider. He's missed badly with that a couple of times in his relief stint here in the 5th. Up base hit the other way. Lopez is 3 for 3. First 3-hit game of his major league career, and San Diego's plated 3 in the 5th.
He came in with 9 RBIs. He's got 2 tonight. He's got the 3 hits. He was hitting a .156. Spangenberg a .175, and they've combined for 4 RBIs.
And now Clayton Richard has to feel like a king. He's got a 6-2 lead. Swing and a miss.
Gohara struck out 6 Phillies in that 4-inning stint. He does not have that kind of strikeout stuff tonight, and he's not throwing as hard. Been sitting around 92, 93. We know we've seen him throw a lot harder. But the time off takes its toll.
The 1-1 pitch to the pitcher. Low, I guess. Clayton Richards never beaten the Braves. He's got a 4-run lead in the 5th tonight. And wears an odd number for a pitcher.
Sure does.
Can't remember a pitcher ever wearing number 3. Sure it's happened before. The 2-2 pitch. Missed badly. And Gohara deep count to Clayton Richard.
Yeah, and Richard was taking. He never even took a stride on that. He was just actually waiting for strike 3.
Not close. He just walked Richard.
He took both those pitches. I mean, he was taking, ready for the strikeout on both of those pitches, and neither one was close.
So Chuck Hernandez has to make another trip to the mound here. Again, Gohara hasn't pitched in a big league game in almost 2 weeks, and it's showing. 22 pitches for him. 2 runs, 4 base runners, and 2 aboard for Jankowski. Jankowski's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Already his 4th at bat.
Travis, 26 years old. He'll turn 27 in 11 days. Out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Amish country.
No balls and a strike. Drilled to right. Markakis won't get that. That's off the base of the Petco porch. 1 run scores. Jankowski has a double.
Well, for Brian Snitker, this is not at all what he was hoping to get from Gohara after Julio had to leave after 4. Nice play by Nick off the wall. That saved a run. That's only the 5th RBI of the year for Jankowski.
So we told you the Padres are playing a lot better than their 27-34 record would indicate. That is certainly the case tonight. San Diego has 9 hits. Six of them for extra bases, including 3 homers. One of them by this man, Eric Hosmer. So their hot streak and the Braves' miseries at Petco Park the last couple of years all adding up to a 7-2 shellacking so far in game 1. Right there, a strike. Peter Moylan is up in the Atlanta pen. As that one's down the left field line, and that one's into the corner. It's going to score 2 more. It's 9-2 San Diego. They've batted around here in the 5th. And the Padres are giving the Braves a taste of their own medicine. Big hits with runners in scoring position, a lot of production with 2 outs. And San Diego has scored 6 in the 5th.
Yet another double for Hosmer, too. Was tied for the league lead in that department.
So the walk to the pitcher led to 3 more San Diego runs, and now Atlanta down 7.
Now, the walk that after he got 2 strikes and Richard was ready to go back to the dugout. He was just waiting for Gohar to throw the ball over the plate. He wasn't even going to swing.
Yeah, and he couldn't.
And he couldn't throw it over for a strike.
Perella was the last man Julio Teheran faced tonight. He walked on 4 pitches. Then Julio left with what we believe is a blister problem. We'll await official confirmation and pass it along when we get word. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Padres have 9 runs on 10 hits. And San Diego's lineup doing what the Braves lineup did for about 5 weeks. The bottom feeding the top. 2 balls and a strike for Perella. Line into center. Ender's going to chase that one down. But Hosmer is going to come around and score. Perella's going to go for 2. And the Braves cut the ball off. No word on the throw through. Swanson was ready to accept the throw. And Perella in safely to make it 10-2.
Tell you what, Perella just showed the Braves how it's done. Ryan Snitker's going to come out and get his pitcher, but there's a couple other guys that might get taken out too, because Ender was very lazy getting that ball in. He cut it off and then he just lollygagged it in. Ozzie had no idea that Perella was going to second base. You can see there, he was shocked. He had no idea. And good hustle by the Padres infielder, taking advantage of the lack of hustle to get the ball in.
San Diego has a big inning. 7 runs in the 5th, and it continues. postseason. Get Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at bat today. One word describes the fifth inning: yuck. 7 runs for San Diego, and they're not done yet. Peter Moylan, the third Atlanta pitcher of the frame. And Hunter Renfroe, who doubled off Gohara, who came on in relief after Julio left with injury. Swings through Peter Moylan's first pitch.
Peter worked 2 days ago against Washington, a perfect inning with a strikeout.
No balls, 2 strikes. Four doubles and a triple for San Diego this inning. And a ground ball to third will mercifully end the fifth inning. San Diego scores 7 times. They send 11 to the plate. Okay, Jerome, thank you very much. Braves have their work cut out for them tonight. Clayton Richards got an 8-run lead, and he is wearing out the infield grass. They may have to resod the diamond after he's through with game 1 tonight. Another ground out. And he's gotten Freeman to roll over to the right side all 3 times. That's 11 ground ball outs for Richard out of the 16 he's gotten in this game.
Braves have only played 16 games so far this year against teams with sub 500 records. But the next 20 are against teams with sub 500 records, although you couldn't prove it tonight.
No. Not in this place. That's the great equalizer, Petco Park, where the Braves have dropped 13 of 16 coming into play tonight and have now been outscored by 51 runs in what are now, counting tonight, 17 games. That's 3 runs a game, folks. That skips up there to Markakis, who got the first Braves hit back in the 4th inning. Back-to-back singles by Nick and Tyler Flowers. Brought Charlie Culberson to the plate with 2 outs. He doubled inside the bag at first to tie it up 2-2. And a shot headed for the right field corner. That'll bounce up against the fence. And Nick Markakis has a 2-hit night. That's 79 hits for the Braves right fielder, his 18th double. And the Braves have something cooking in the 6th.
No matter what the score or situation is, inning-wise or whatever, Nick Markakis is going to give you a professional at bat. And even though Richard hung a breaking ball there for a mistake, Nick's not going to go up and go through the motions because it's 10-2.
That's a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, Brian Snitker tonight with the left-hander on the mound. Tried to shuffle his lineup a little bit. Got Ender out of the leadoff spot where he'd been struggling, especially against lefties. But Ozzie Albies back first. Camargo second. Ender 6th. Braves have 2 runs on 4 hits. And again, if you missed the stat I gave you earlier tonight, going back to their last 7 games, innings 1 through 6, the Braves offense hitting .220 as a group.
Hard to believe.
And Flowers draws a walk. That helps. With an 8-run lead, Richard walks the Braves catcher with 1 out. And now Ender is the hitter.
His 2nd walk to go with a hit batsman.
Ender is 0 for 2. He's hit 1 to the shortstop and to the second baseman. Didn't appear to be a strike, but he got the call. There's a base hit against a lefty. Markakis around third will be waved home. An RBI single for Inciarte makes it a 10-3 game.
Well, that was a short move to the ball by Ender. Foot down early, choked up a little bit more on the bat too. Nicely done. His 22nd RBI.
And Atlanta gets 1 back. It's a 7-run deficit for Charlie Culberson. Took a shot to right and fouled it away. 4 of Charlie's 8 career homers have been game-ending shots, including each of his last 3 homers. As Joe said, he's the first player in Major League history with 3 game-ending homers without any other type of homer in between them. Pretty cool. And a generous strike zone. 0-2.
That one yesterday just shocked the heck out of me. Not because he couldn't do it, but because he'd already done it earlier in the homestand. So the chances of doing it again were unbelievable.
Even he was shaking his head, rounding the bases. At home yesterday, the pitch. He chased that ball to the dirt and is down on strikes. 2 outs. Third strikeout for Richard. And it's up to Dansby if the Braves are to add to their 6th inning run total. About everybody in the ballpark thought Dansby got Clayton Richard in the fourth. Deep fly ball to left, but no such luck. He chased Renfroe to the wall. And he takes this one up the middle, but Richard in excellent fielding position makes the play and breaks Dansby's heart. A run on 2 hits, 2 left, 7 runs, San Diego lead.
Or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Chip and Joe with you from San Diego. Kelsey Wingert as well. Rough start to the Western swing in San Diego. 10-3. The Padres have the lead. They plated 7 runs in the 5th inning to break it open. Peter Moylan will try to get through the 6th inning, and then he'll be taken down for a pinch hitter, for his spot is due first in the top of the 7th. And a strike. Julio Teheran went 4+ innings tonight, left with an issue on his pitching hand. Did not have much velocity on his fastball.
No.
He did a real good job, I think, to hold these guys to 4 runs. Gohara came in 2/3 of an inning, 6 hits, 6 runs. Now Moylan, the 3rd Atlanta starter.
This guy is huge. Reyes.
Franmil to left. And that one is gone. Charlie Culberson didn't have a very good read on that ball. It looked like it hit right off the top of the fence and ricocheted into the seats.
6'5", 275 on Reyes.
That is Sano-like, the Minnesota Twins slugger.
Man, oh man, is he big. Hanging slider. Yeah, I thought Charlie deked me. I thought, oh, he's got a bead on it. And it did land in the seats. Looking at the infield, though, almost like he never saw it.
Might not have. So the Padres have hit 4 homers. Freddie Galvis the batter, and didn't get it. Strike 1.
Reyes last year hit 25 homers and drove in 102 runs at San Antonio.
Well, I'm sure the Padres are looking across the diamond at the Braves. Atlanta and San Diego on parallel paths with regards to their rebuild and developing their farm system. Padres start play tonight 7 games under 500. The Braves 11 over. I'm sure they're thinking, okay, if we continue to stick with the plan and these young players continue to come up and do what they're doing, at least to Atlanta tonight, Andy Green's club could quickly become relevant in the National League West again. But they have the unenviable task of trying to play in the same division with the Dodgers, who have an open checkbook year after year. And that is not easy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count to Galvis. Braves have had a lot of full count pitches made to the San Diego offense. Three and two.
Coast to coast travel is difficult at best, and it's probably a little easier to fly east to west than the other way. Get an extra 3 hours, but you also start a game that first night at 10 o'clock body time.
Yeah, San Diego had the luxury of sleeping at home last night while getting ready to open up this series against the Braves. We'll see them in Atlanta June 14th through the 17th. They have a weird trip coming up. How about this one? At Miami, at St. Louis, at Atlanta, and then back at home.
Zigzag.
Yeah. We'll make sure to wave to them when their charter flies over, heading from Miami to St. Louis. Yeah. We've talked a lot about Atlanta's miseries in this ballpark. It's not just San Diego. The Braves are 13-33 on the West Coast since June of 2015. 20 under 500.
That's ugly.
And Galvis took strike 3. First strikeout for Moylan. 1 in, 1 out. There's Spangenberg. He's homered. He's tripled. He's hit safely now in 9 of his last 10 games against the Braves, at batting average approaching 400. As you see, he's hitting 190 for the year. Strike 1.
Got to give Peter Moylan a lot of credit. He's used in just about every possible situation. High leverage situations where you need a ground ball, bring him in to try to get a double play ball. The game on the line, you ask him to pitch long relief in a situation like this after it's already been kind of a blowout. Pick up some innings for the rest of the bullpen. He's due up first next inning, and I'm sure they'll hit for him. But he wants the ball. Whenever it's offered, he'll take it, no matter what the setup.
One ball, 2 strikes. 1 in, 1 out for the Padres. The pitch. It's 2-2. Game 2 tomorrow night. Sean Newcomb and Jordan Lyles will hook up. Newcomb going for his 7th win for Atlanta. Lyles a pleasant surprise. He's 2-1 for the San Diegans. To left. Culberson is there, has to spin as he makes the catch shy of the track. And that's out number 2. Here's Lopez, who's 3 for 3.
Charlie doesn't have a ton of experience in the outfield, but that was a tough play because of how much that ball was slicing. Good recovery.
That's fouled. There's some fun facts on their scoreboard. Rafi Lopez is the first Padre in their franchise's history to wear number 0. Jack Clark was 0-0.
Jack Clark was such a good clutch hitter, wasn't he? Played against him all through the minor leagues. He did there what he did in the big leagues. Hit him a mile.
It's a big part of those Cardinal teams in the 1980s that I grew up watching. This one's hit a mile high into shallow center. And Ender is there, and he's got it. And that's the inning. Reyes hits a solo homer to start the San Diego sixth. Best feature presented by Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball. Sean Newcomb, look at what he's done, partner, over his last 6.
154 ERA, a whip of 1, which is outstanding, and will be trying for his 7th win tomorrow night.
Can the Braves pull off a miracle in San Diego tonight? The 7th, 8th, and 9th innings have been 3 of their most productive frames. Peter Moylan, as you suggested, will be taken down for a pinch hitter after an inning and a third of 1-run relief. Peter Borges grabs a bat and he'll lead off. Clayton Richard with an 8-run lead has never beaten the Braves. And he's continued his good, durable work. 6 more innings under his belt tonight.
You were talking about the Padres road trip, Miami, St. Louis, Atlanta. Did you look beyond that?
No, that one kind of made me sick to my stomach just thinking about.
Well, I'm going to put you over the edge.
Oh no. Foul ball.
The Padres go on that trip, Miami, St. Louis, Atlanta. They come home and play 2 days. And then they go to San Francisco and Texas.
Oh.
And then they come home for 3 days. And then they go to Oakland and Arizona for a week. Talk about a rough schedule coming up. That long trip to the east and 2 days at home.
Whoever made that schedule should be forced by Major League Baseball to have to go on it and be here with the Padres every day for that 3-week period, so that never ever happens again. That's insane.
Oh, they would say, oh, hey, we just gave him a 10-day homestand.
Perfect. Swing and a miss. Borges is retired. And it's 4 strikeouts for Richard. And 1 away. I wonder what role the Players Association would have in helping with the schedule. I know they got some concessions with travel days. Depending on how long your flight is, you can't start a game at a certain time after a certain time of the day. As that one's hit toward right field and over the head of Reyes. Albies is on his way to second. He'll stand there with a double. And that snaps an 0 for 16 for the Braves second baseman.
And that's the 3rd hard hit ball for him tonight. Talk about frustration when you're in an 0 for. Hit one to the warning track in center his first time up, lined out to Hosmer, line shot right to him his last time up. So good for Ozzie, hanging in there and back in the hit column.
So rare ball in the air off of Clayton Richard tonight. Atlanta trying to plate their 4th run. Well, there is some pushback being given by the New York Yankees with regards to their upcoming schedule. Don't know if you saw that story. A ground ball to second will get Albies to third, but that's the second out. The Yankees have 3 games, including travel, in a span of little more than 24 hours. They have a Sunday. Well, excuse me, the Sunday game in Baltimore between the Yankees and Orioles was postponed by rain. The second game of that series was washed out too. They announced Sunday that one of those games would be made up as a doubleheader in Baltimore on Monday, July 9th. The Yankees have to play in Toronto the night before on the Sunday night game. Swing and a miss. The Yankees were unaware they had been chosen as the Sunday night game before agreeing to that July 9th doubleheader. And the Yankees are trying to get that game changed.
Good luck with that. You saw on that Zaxby's indescribably good play, Freddie's 16-game hitting streak. Don't know if he'll get another at bat tonight, but a chance to extend it right here.
That's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Freddie had good luck against Richard coming in, 4 for 9. But nothing tonight, just ground balls.
Richard at 108 pitches. Most he's thrown this year. And Freddie chased it. And that's the inning. 0 for 4 is Freddie Freeman. Albies left at third base. 11-3 San Diego. Time to stretch. He will pitch the bottom of the 7th inning, and now he starts to look at his fingers as he twirled that last pitch homered. Last thing the Braves need is another pitcher with a blister problem.
Yeah,
as he's on for the 30th time.
Let's hope it's a more sticky problem. 30th game, as you said. Last work was against Washington. He appeared in one of those games of that series and had a tough outing. 1 inning, a hit, a run. It was a home run to Soto that tied that game up on Saturday.
And he came on an 0-2 pitch. That was the frustrating part. So Matt Caesar will pinch hit. Clayton Richards, 7 innings of 6-hit, 3-run ball tonight. He is in line to beat the Braves for the very first time.
Matt Caesar, the pinch hitter, came over from the Cubs. Wow.
Didn't get it. Good start for Sam Freeman. 3 pitches, takes care of Caesar, who won't be hailed tonight. He's out number 1.
That change up over a little bit.
Peter Borges takes over in center for the Braves. Ender Inciarte has the rest of the night off. No way to sugarcoat it. Not a good night for the Braves tonight. And we will await word on the status of Julio Teheran, who left after his 4-inning stint. Jankowski has a run scoring hit that came in the 5th. That went in at the knees. And 1-2. That's hit the other way. Dansby, long throw attempt won't be made. Perfectly placed by Jankowski, who's aboard for the 3rd time. Four Padres have multi-hit games tonight, including Jankowski, who's got 2 hits.
Hitting them where they ain't.
And here's Hosmer, who's had a big night. The Padres got things going with a bang in the 1st inning. He hit a 428-foot homer off Teheran to give San Diego the lead. And that went all the way to the backstop. No chance for Flowers. And that one got away from Sam Freeman. A very wild pitch. Again, as Joe told you, the Padres 19-3 this year when they score the 1st run. They're 12-3 when they hit a homer. Both of those things are in play tonight. Interesting note on Eric Hosmer. First the 1-0 pitch. SunTrust Park is the last of the 30 active Major League parks in which Hosmer has yet to play a game. And he'll get his chance when the Padres come to town next week. Squibb towards short. Dansby's got it. Long throw. Runner to 3rd. 2 outs. And here's Pirela. He's walked, scored, doubled, and knocked in a run. He's got 5 multi-hit games in his last 10 played. Varela came from the Yankees before the 2016 season. And a deal for right-handed pitcher Ronald Herrera. He made quite an impact in his 83 games with the Padres last year. 10 homers, 40 RBIs, made just 4 errors, and scored 43 runs.
He's one of those guys that you don't hear enough about. Not that he's playing in a place that nobody pays attention to. Certainly, it's just that with so many West Coast games that come in late on the Eastern Seaboard, you don't hear about him very much.
He's no kid. He's 28 years old. He'll be 29 in November. Taking a long time to get to the major leagues. Signed in 2007, got a cup of coffee in New York in 2014, the same in 2015, and then really broke through here in San Diego. The pitch off the end of the bat foul and into the San Diego dugout. Crowd tonight 19,419 for game one.
They've been treated to a big offensive explosion by their Padres.
To center, and Borges is there, and that retires the side. To the 8th we go. All San Diego.
Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
All Padres, they've wrapped out 13 hits, a bunch of extra base hits, including 4 homers tonight. And now Matt Strom, the 6'3", 185-pound left-hander out of Wells Fargo, North Dakota, will come on and pitch inning number 8.
Pretty good numbers except for the walks. 9 in 11 plus innings. Can rush it up there. It topped out at about 95.
Nick Markakis leads off the 8th inning. Another multi-hit game for Nick, our Georgia Lottery feature tonight.
He's got his hits tonight. Freddie has not.
So Nick's got a 5-game hitting streak. Barring the lineup turning over, Freddie Freeman's 16-game hitting streak in serious jeopardy here in game 1. Strom came from Kansas City with Travis Wood and an infielder, Estuary Ruiz, for Ryan Buchter, Trevor Cahill, and Brandon Maurer at the trading deadline last year. Had a very impressive 2016 debut, making the jump from Double-A to the big leagues for the Royals, where he pitched to a 1.23 ERA in 21 games. Ed Yost used him, I would assume, as a specialist. He had 16 1/3 scoreless innings for the Royals. That was their longest consecutive scoreless streak by any pitcher 2 years ago.
He's got a good arm. Showing you a slider there. Also has a changeup. He's from where? Wells Fargo,
North Dakota.
That's cool.
Out of play foul. Strom had a chance to go play at Nebraska, but Kansas City got him signed. A 21st round pick. Boy, when you get guys like that to make your roster, what a bonus that is. That's hammered toward the gap in right center field. Long run Reyes, but he's going to get there. And Reyes rumbles out in right, takes care of Markakis for the first out.
Yeah, he was playing Nick way over toward right center, also giving him the right field line. Otherwise, that's a gapper. 6'5", 275.
Tyler's reached base 3 times tonight. He's been hit by a pitch. He's singled, scored, and walked. That's smoke to left. Renfroe makes a nice running catch on the track. And Preston Tucker will hit for Sam Freeman here with 2 outs and the base is empty. Swing and a miss. I think tomorrow, to help change the Braves' luck, I'm going to have to go to the zoo.
Okay. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Out of play foul, 0-2.
San Diego have a zoo? Oh, did I get an ugly look over there? Boy.
It's the kind of look you gave my dad when he told you about the arch in St. Louis, right?
Right.
No balls, 2 strikes. That's slapped down the left field line.
Talking to Preston last night on the flight and really applauding his efforts and how hard it is to come off the bench cold and when you've never done it before, and he's doing such a good job. He said, man, I'm trying, but it is tough.
He might be in there tomorrow night against Jordan Lyles.
If you recall, when you and I were doing some spring training games this year, he was in the lineup and facing some tough lefties against the Yankees and Tigers, and he was handling himself just fine.
This one's popped up left side. Spangenberg is going to make the catch near the line, and Atlanta's retired in order in the 8th. 8 runs. San Diego lead in game 1. The 8th inning, Shane Carl is going to be the new Atlanta pitcher. He's the 4th reliever to work tonight.
At Rooms to Go, you can go any way you want. Go style, go savings, go today.
Shane put an end to that run he was on where he'd given up at least 1 run in 4 straight outings by pitching a good inning against the Nationals a couple of days ago. 1 inning, zeros across, 2 strikeouts.
Hunter Renfroe is the man leading off the 8th for San Diego. He's doubled tonight. Every San Diego regular player has at least 1 hit tonight. Preston Tucker stays in the game to play right field. Nick Markakis out of the game, with Padres up 8 in the 8th. Every Padre who's started the game, with the exception of Freddie Galvis, has scored at least 1 run, and that includes the pitcher Clayton Richard. So a forgettable night for the Braves in San Diego tonight. As Carl quickly behind, 2 balls, no strikes. Renfroe, Reyes, and Galvis are coming up.
Tons of 3-ball counts tonight.
Yeah. Braves have only walked 4 guys, but you're right, deep counts. And then San Diego has gone to the woodshed. A lot of extra base hits. And that one at the knees. The 3-2 pitch is whacked towards short. Dansby, nice sliding stop, a pretty play. One of Dansby's best of the year right there. Hard hit ball off the bat of Renfroe. Had a shot elude Swanson in the 1st inning.
Yeah,
he got even there.
Had some topspin on it too. Nice play on that short hop. And a good throw. Nice play.
Reyes a homer his last time up. His 5th of the year. Ball 1. San Diego with 4 homers tonight. By my count, 9 extra base hits among their 13 total. Here in game 1. And that's a little low. Always a treat to come to Petco Park, one of my favorite parks in the major leagues, right downtown. A couple of blocks off the waterfront. And as I look out in right center field, out in the grassy berm out there, you see the beautifully lit statue of the late great Tony Gwynn, which is bathed in lights.
Yeah, I love the lighting on it.
There's that classic swing of Mr. Padre. One of a couple of people I really miss when we come out here to San Diego. The Colonel, Jerry Coleman. for so many years. Great broadcaster here, manager as well, briefly. Naval pilot in World War II in Korea, true hero. Great broadcaster, wonderful man who's still beloved by so many. And a gentleman that's not here tonight, Ted Leitner, who's the longtime radio voice of the Padres, underwent kidney cancer surgery last week. He's hoping to be back in the next couple of weeks. And a man that graced this booth for several years too, Dick Enberg.
Baseball lost another good one yesterday. Bruce Keeson to renal cancer. We got to know Bruce through the years. When he was scouting, we'd see him in the press box, have good chats with him. Real dry wit. Wonderful guy, and our sympathies to his family.
One ball, one strike. Galvis out in front. So your point tonight about full counts and 3-ball counts. You ready for this one? 16 of them. Oh, 16 3-ball counts for the Braves staff. That's a recipe for disaster.
Well, it's unusual too.
Reyes at first with the 4th walk issued by the Braves staff tonight. Two balls, two strikes. Double play ball. There's one, and there is two. Carl gets out of the 8th inning, and it's last chance time for the Braves in the 9th. It's 11-3 Padres. We'll have the post-game show in about 45 minutes or so, because the Braves put together a big rally in the 9th inning. They need 8 to tie it tonight, and they'll face Phil Hughes, whom the Padres acquired from Minnesota on May 27th with cash, and the 74th overall pick in the 2018 competitive balance round B pick for catcher Janningson Villalobos.
I was glad you read his name. That was a tough one.
Too late for that name. Hughes pitched a inning against Cincinnati on June 2nd, his last time out. I guess the Padres are banking on this big ballpark, turning around his fortunes, which weren't very good with the Twins.
High 80s, low 90s. slider, curveball.
Charlie Culberson drove home the first 2 Braves runs. They came in the 4th inning, and he bangs this one through the left side. Multi-hit game for Charlie tonight. So Culberson is now 8 for his last 21 with a couple of homers. And there's a start to the 9th. Here's Dansby.
And didn't miss that hanging curveball.
Dansby's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Hosmer will play behind the runner. And another hit in the same spot. Back-to-back singles for Atlanta.
Dansby hit a comebacker his last time up that looked like it was surefire going to get up the middle and drive in a run. And Richard speared it before it could get through. He didn't get robbed that time.
Let's see if Borges can make it 3 for 3 for Atlanta to start the inning. Way outside, ball 1. Giants putting a hurting on Arizona tonight. That's 9-2 San Francisco. That one in the 8th inning at AT&T Park. Giants get Madison Bumgarner back tomorrow night. And if San Francisco hangs on and wins that game, they'll be a game and a half out. Braves fans never say die. They're chopping away here with their rally caps on. 2 on, nobody out. High fly ball left center. Jankowski and Renfroe are back. That one's at the wall. That one's off the wall. And now we've got a relay race. Here comes Culberson around third. Dansby to third. It's a double off the wall for Borges. It is 3 straight Atlanta hits.
That's just missed getting out of here. Only thing wrong with this is Peter may have hit it too high. And Jankowski probably mistimed his jump a little bit too. He thought he was closer to the wall.
So it's 11-4 and the top of the order coming up. Albies doubled in the 7th inning. 2 singles and a double start the Atlanta 9th. Padres bullpen is busy. Guessing that's Brad Hand. Nope, it's Robbie Erlin. Excuse me. Lead too big for Hand at the moment. The pitch cut on and missed. 0-2.
We're still a ways away. It'd be nice though to get Freddie back up there for one more shot at extending his hitting streak.
Camargo on deck. Albies in an 0-2 hole. And here it is. Didn't offer. It's 1-2. $110 runs for the Braves now from the 7th inning or later. Listen to the Braves fans here. Awesome. The pitch. Rolled foul. So many Braves fans in this part of the world thanks to the Superstation so many years ago. And the fan give Eric Young a big cheer as he got one over the net. Fans on the first base side. 1-2. I think they were just chanting MVP.
Yeah.
They are giving it to him.
Got that easy smile. It's great.
"12 pitches for Hughes. He hasn't recorded an out yet. The pitch is high, 2-2.
Ozzie did a nice job of spoiling some of those borderline off-speed pitches, fouling them off.
And Albies down on strikes. There's the first out in the 9th inning. And here's Camargo. Johan tonight 0 for 4. Hughes spins that one up there for a strike. A 78-mile-an-hour curveball.
Nice spot for that pitch. Good timing on it. Been missing pretty badly with his fastball.
The 0-2 is rolled foul. Well, the Padres taking a flyer on Hughes. Got some cash considerations back from Minnesota in the deal. Making $9 million this year. He's got $13 million coming next year. No balls, 2 strikes. 2nd and 3rd for Atlanta. 1 in, 1 out. 11-4 game. That's a pop fly over the Braves dugout and into the seats. And now Camargo 0-2. Storyline tonight, the health of Julio Teheran, who had to leave after 4+ innings. What appeared to be a blister issue. Kelsey, I'm sure, will try to get confirmation on that. And she heads to the Braves clubhouse after the game. Luis Gohara followed Teheran in relief, his first outing in over a week and a half. It did not go well. Braves got the game tied at 2, but the Padres played long ball, hit 4 homers tonight. Pitch. Good eye. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And hopefully tomorrow night, Sean Newcomb will get some early runs to play with. Again, the Braves have been great in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. It's innings 1 through 6 of late that have been such a problem.
Yeah, I got to get something going. They were pretty good there for a while in the 1st inning.
Yeah.
And that's kind of dried up.
Strike 3 called.
That looked a little wide.
It was. All Camargo can do is shake his head, but does bring Freddie Freeman to the plate with a chance to extend his hitting streak. And you're right about the 1st inning. Last 1st inning run for the Braves, May 16th. And now we have an imbecile running on the field from the left field stands out toward right. And now another one joins him. And that fan will try to leap the wall and will be chased on the warning track. Obviously, we won't show it. And finally, one of his fans runs into the stands in right. The other fan, who initially broke onto the field, is still running around in left and being chased by about 4 security guards before finally giving up the ghost. And that fan will be taken out through the left field gate.
He's so out of gas. They ought to make him just keep running.
Right.
Come on, let's just keep going, buddy. The guy that jumped in the stands down the first base line, I think a fan grabbed him.
Yeah. And just now that fan is being handcuffed and led away. So it looks like order has been restored, and Freddie Freeman's going to dig in with 2 outs. Strike at the knees. After the 3 hits, all of a sudden Hughes looks like a different guy. Albee struck out on an 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Camargo took a generous called 3rd strike. And now Freeman behind in the count. 0-2.
Got one left, Freddie.
Fly ball center. Jankowski back to the track at the wall, has just enough room. And that is your ball game. Freddie Freeman's hit streak comes to an end. And Atlanta's miseries in San Diego continue. Padres 11, Braves 4. Game 1 goes the Padres' way. Clayton Richard with his first career win against Atlanta. Joe got a ton of run support and never looked back tonight.
Yeah, the 7-run 5th inning kind of did it in. Braves had battled back to tie the game up. Couldn't get a shutdown inning in the 4th, and certainly the 5th inning ended it.
So Clayton Richard's first career win against the Braves comes at Petco Park tonight. We'll recap Game 1 for you on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. It's coming up next.